Addicts, and today I got a returning guest back with me. I got Derek here from, I keep wanting to say Fundamentals of Side Hustling, but it's Fundamentals of Hustling now.
Yeah, Fundamentals of Hustling now. I just
All right,
took the
bro.
side hustling off, the side off.
Okay, we got rid of the side. So, hey,
Yeah.
Derek, then go ahead and introduce yourself real quick to our audience, just in case they don't know who you are. Kind of tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them a little bit about what it is that you do, bro.
I think this is my third time on your show, Jeff. My name is Derek, Fundamentals of Hustling. I am a full-time reseller. Make YouTube content. Well, not videos anymore. I do the live shows now on YouTube, and I'm more active on Instagram. If you want to catch me anywhere on Instagram, it's the same thing, Fundamentals of Hustling. And I'm just a grinder out here, man. Just out here, just trying to make ends meet, living in this crazy world in California. And I am in California. I'm in the West Coast, so you already know how hard you got to go out here.
Man, yeah, the cost of living is going up everywhere, Derek. Not just in California, it's going up, but here in Florida, it's been going up as well, man. But yeah, well, I know that most people know who you are, but we've been growing, man. I think right now we just hit 5,500 subscribers, so my channel's been growing. So so thanks. So that's why I was like, hey, just in case people don't know who you are, you introduce yourself. So Derek is, I call him an entrepreneur, but he's basically a full-time reseller. That's your full-time gig, your main hustle, your main occupation is buying stuff and reselling it on eBay and Amazon. So tell me, man, how have you been doing lately, man? Because I talked to you last time, and it's like you're like me, you have all these ideas of projects of things that you want to do, but we're like restricted. We're only having 24 hours in a day. So
Yeah.
how are things been going for you, bro?
Everything's been good. Hey, shout out to Annie. Thank you, Annie, for saying hi. Jen, what's up, Jen? CEO, Piqua, Nita, LKL, Keith. Thank y'all for jumping up in here. Go Rams. That's right. How about them Rams? I've been I've been good, bro. Been consistent. I think the name of the game is being consistent in reselling and in hitting your own personal goals or whatever you set for yourself. And I'm a stickler for that, and knowing what I have to do to go hard at it. And just a little boomerang out there, bro. I'm actually. I think I talked to you last time, and the funny thing about it is like, bro, you don't have time. I am going in for the coaching thing. I'm going to do a little coaching on the side. It's about 3 hours a day, and I can easily pull 3 hours out of my day. We spend 3 hours fiddling on our goddamn phones right here. I can filter that out and go do this coaching thing. So I've dove full in on trying to get this coaching thing going, and I put in an application for it, and I think I'm gonna get it. But then also I have my curve painting, in which I do when I want to on the weekend. That's when I want to, which is a great thing. And that's it. Those are my three main hustles right now.
Yeah. So tell me about this coaching thing you're doing, Derek. Tell me about that real quick.
Yeah, I want to get into full-time coaching track. I think we talked about it previously, or anyone who knows me know that's my favorite sport in the world. I was pretty good at it when I ran track, and I legit just have a passion for it. I love track and field, and it's one of the only sports where you can say it's just you. Although you run relays, you have a job on that relay. And if you screw up that leg of the relay, I don't care what no one says. It's not a team effort. That is a you fault. So, it's one of those sports that you get out of it what you put into it. Period. Right. Track and field, you can't fake track and field.
All right. Hey, Derek, let me give a shout out to the people here in the chat. I want to give a shout out here to Keith is here, LKL Graphics. I want to give a shout out to Javela Flips. Annie is here. I want to give a shout out to Jen's Multiverse as Joe, Jeff, and Derek. I want to give a shout out to CEO of 3,500 employees from JT Automations. Hey, man, we're glad to have you here. Thanks for coming by and hanging out. I want to give a shout out to Piqua Resellers. Nina J is here. Says, hey, all. Hey, Derek. Wanted to say hey to your co-host this year, Regina. We was just talking about you backstage, and I was just telling Derek that if me and Derek had a show together every week, it would just be Derek taking half the time telling me to shut up, and I would say, no, it's my turn to talk. And I was just telling him how when you guys do your show together, it's like yin and yang, and you guys, your personalities mesh well together. So thanks for hanging out with us today. Wanted to give a shout out to Frugal Peanut is here. Said hey to Jen already. Javela Flips is here. My man Richie Hustles is here, man. Hey, Richie Hustles says,
Richie.
glad to catch a live today while working on the comp. Long time no see, Jeff. Yeah, man, I was actually sick, man, a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I had the virus or what was going on, but I just got really sick. And so, like, first, my forehead had a fever, then my whole body had a fever. So,
Yeah,
you know
Jeff
how
had
it
that
is.
swine flu. He had that
Right,
swine
I
flu.
had
We
some.
took it back to 2015, had that swine flu.
Right. Well, you know how it is, man. It's in the wintertime, and you know, you got a fever and you're aching and cold chills and all that. And then I would wake up and say, hey man, I'm feeling better. I'm not sick no more. And then I would start coughing and sneezing and everything all over again. So I've been fighting this flu, and I don't know, I guess there's something been going around, but I'm feeling better now. Frugal Peanut says, I was just thinking the other day that I haven't seen you in a while. Richie Hustles is here. Katie Reeds is here. Shout out to Kelly, Reseller Louise. Katie Reeds, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, and Jen is here, says, agree, can't depend on others to make you look good and use them as an excuse.
Yeah.
If you guys have questions for our guest, Derek, go ahead and drop it in the chat. So Derek, man, tell me a little bit about what's going on, man. You know how we do things on my channel. We got to talk a little bit about how you got started in this resale game, and tell people a little bit about your experience, because I was catching the replay because I was sick, guys. I didn't catch all of YouTube videos, but I caught your replay with your interview with Akil. You were on with Akil like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so I was catching him, and he said he used to be a manager of like Ross and Marshalls and DD's and all that. So go ahead and talk a little bit about your backstory of how you got what you were doing before you became a reseller, and how you got kind of transitioned to kind of being your own boss.
Well, I was in retail for, you know, it's a trap, right? You get into it and you get trapped into the retail community. So I started off in retail in high school. And then when I graduated high school, I ended up not going to college, and I had a child right out of high school. So when I was 19, 20, was I 20? I was 19, 20 when I had my first child, and all I knew was I had to support my child. So dove into Walgreens, started off at Walgreens. I was a photo clerk. I was a little kid over there in photo, looking at all those pornography video. Look, going off base, you'll be amazed at some of the dumb stuff that people bring to get developed back then at Walgreens. I'm talking about just the most craziest stuff, and we used to have to call the police because there was some stuff on these films.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I started out there at Walgreens and kind of got trapped into the retail world. Ended up at Ross and DD's. Ended up a traveling district manager, opening new markets there. And once I got out of that, I got into hospitality. You know, we had a Motel 6, me and my wife, and did that for a minute. And I decided I was tired of people telling me what to do. So I decided to jump out on my own. I got into reselling a while in 2009, just reselling stuff out my house, figured out, hey, I can do this full time. Once I figured out a plan, I dove into it and haven't looked back. And that's kind of the short summary of it.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man. So you said that when you were working in retail, it was really like stressful, you know, being in that work environment. Because I worked a corporate job for a long time as well, so I can relate. But I wasn't working in retail. But you were like higher up. You weren't like an hourly employee. You were like up in upper management, weren't you, for a while?
Yeah, I worked my way up. I started off just as a regular clerk and got promoted to assistant manager. My manager got fired. I ended up getting promoted, moved to a different store. They called me the problem solver. So when you get that title, which is a good and bad, people can depend on you, but then people start taking advantage of you. They start taking advantage of your skills. They start taking advantage of how dedicated you are to your job. And they see that. And so they move you around because they know you'll say yes. And they won't pay you for it. They expect you to do all the work and won't pay you for it. So I got promoted to district manager, and then I started opening new markets. This is all this is in my 20s, my upper 20s, younger 30s. I mean, it's insane the amount of stress that you have to deal with working. I mean, you're dealing with $1 million stores, and I had $6, $7, $8, $9 million stores that I'm in charge of, and it's a stress level that if you're not ready for it, that it can actually kill you. That stuff can kill you. It really can.
Yeah, I heard of a lot of people that would wake up Monday morning dreading to go to work, and then they would, have a stroke or a heart attack or something. Young people, it just, you have all this stress, and I'm telling you, man, it's not worth it. But if they promise you the moon about, you're going to have a pension, you're going to have all these benefits, you're going to have job security and this great pay, but at the end of the day, like, you still work for them. Like, if you request 2 weeks off of vacation, it could get denied. Like, you still have to go through all the processes and procedures just to get a week off to go on vacation or go to your kid's birthday party or something. Like, they pretty much tell you what to do. They say jump and you say how high. So exactly. I know what that's like. They don't have a problem with you working, but if you need 2 weeks off, oh no, everything starts going crazy. So what's the biggest thing, Derek, that you kind of took from working in the corporate world and the retail world that helps you a lot now being a reseller, that you can kind of see through it, like, oh, I know this is getting ready to go on sale and clearance, or I know I can pick up these shoes. Like, for example, I was watching the Real Ross Boss the other day, if you guys haven't checked his channel out, and he was picking up shoes at Ross on clearance for 50 cents a piece and turn around and flipping them on eBay. So I'm sure, since you used to work at Ross and Marshalls and DD's and stuff like that, what are some of the things that kind of helped you, that you've taken away from the corporate world, that you can take with you now that you're self-employed, being a reseller?
I think the biggest piece I pulled from working retail customer service is time management. Really, that's the biggest piece. When you, and then getting the best out of people, I guess, especially if you're going to have employees. Learning that people react differently to how you react to them. Learning how to push people without pushing them over the edge. Time management. You have to have major time management in any job at upper level, because you can't do everything yourself. You legit have to depend on the people that you have and get the best out of them, and then move people in the right positions for them to be successful. And knowing in retail, anyone who in retail, you're only as good as the people that you have. And so you got to appreciate them for who they are and what they are, and treat everyone equally.
Yeah.
If you're in management, you have to. That's where I see a lot of people fail, is they don't treat everyone equally. They start getting their favorites, and people will hone in on that, and you will start losing really fast, because the moment you get that favorite person and they do something wrong, and you try to go in and coach them, they're going to be like, oh my God, you're what? I'm perfect. What are you saying? You basically told me I'm perfect, and now you're coming to me saying, hey, I made a mistake. Now that's a problem. Now it's a problem. And you can't do that. So all those little tidbits and things has helped me out in the long run working retail. So I don't regret it at all. I don't regret anything I've ever done in life. I really don't. Of course, you wish you could change some things, but I never regret it, because I learned from every situation.
All right, cool. I want to give a shout out real quick to the ATL Flippers are here in the chat.
What up,
Voorhees is here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Keith is here. I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Kelly Reseller. Louise is here. Nina J is here. Keith said it's important to do what you like. And we had a question in the chat. Katie Reed says, hey, Derek, do you believe it's important to have multiple streams of income, not only for security, but for mental variety?
She hit it. She hit it right there. I feel like there's not a recipe for anyone to go off of, right? Your recipe is what's better for you in your life. A lot of people push that, oh, I have to have 7 streams of income. No, you have to have 5 streams of income to be successful. No, you have to have 8. No, that's all BS. All right. You have to have enough streams of income for you to feel comfortable in your particular life. If one stream is enough for you, hey, more power to you. There's no recipe for it. For you to be comfortable, I would say you should have at least 2 or 3 if you can do it without being stressed out, right? That's the worst thing, is to go out and get multiple streams of income and be stressed the F out. What sense does it make to have a full-time job, 2 side jobs, and be stressed the hell to death? Like, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you have relationship problems, and don't think that you not being happy has nothing to do with your relationship. That is an absolute lie. If you're not happy at your job, 100% is going to come back home with you and affect your relationship. So make sure, number one, if you have a main job, be happy at that main job. And then you can jump off and figure out what time you have to go do other little avenues. Be happy at your main job first, and then jump out and do other little side streams. But yeah, I think you should have at least a couple to help benefit you in the long run, for sure.
Yeah, I think you should have some, but just don't overdo it. Because one thing, like I'll tell you a story, guys. When I was younger, I'm 37 now, but when I was a younger guy, maybe 10 years ago, back in the day, I used to work my corporate job 9 to 5 at General Electric. I would get off from there. I had a little newspaper out. I would get out and go throw newspapers. Then on the weekends, on Saturday, Sundays, I'd be delivering pizza at Papa John's, and I would be driving for Uber, and I was selling stuff on eBay. So I had like 5 different streams of income, but I was working 7 days a week. And it doesn't take much for some one day, okay, my car broke down and it's in the shop. Okay, I'm sick for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a little bit of time for you, and time for you to spend time with your significant other or your family. Like, now that I'm older, like, I like working and hustling and making money, but I also value my free time to be like, hey, it's my nephew's birthday party. Let's go get him this Mortal Kombat game and order pizza and have cake and ice cream and be there. Because he's only going to have an 8-year-old birthday party. He's only going to be 8 years old once. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I kind of want to be there and be a part of going to his birthday parties and being there for Christmas and having Christmas presents under the tree. So you got to have a little bit of a balance where you can't work 24 hours in a day. You need to make money, but you got to be able to have enough time for you. You know, like, it's just kind of important to have that balance there. But yeah, having multiple streams of income and not just depending on one is important, because it can come and go quick, you know, but it's important to have those multiple streams of income. I want to give a quick shout out here to the Selling Sniper is here in the chat.
What's going on?
Yeah, Callie Reseller Louise is here. If you guys have questions for our guests, drop it in the chat. Derek, you know, I got a bunch of questions for you today, bro. Now, I know we're in February. We're not in January anymore, but I got to ask you this. What are some of your goals? Now, I don't want to say New Year's resolutions, but what are some of your goals and projects that you have for yourself this year for 2022? Because I know you always keep some under your cap that you don't tell nobody about. So go ahead and let it loose. Give us maybe 3 or 4 of some of your goals that you have this year for 2022.
Well, my big thing was a coach thing. I've been talking about that for over a year now, and I don't like talking too much. If I'm not going to do it, then I'm going to stop talking about it. So that is a big piece that's about to hopefully fall off the board here. As far as with the reselling piece of it, my goal each year is to hit 100K, and that's I'm comfortable with 100K because it allows me, because I know how much work goes behind that. It allows me to be able to do the other thing, like the curve painting thing. That's going to continue being a side piece for me because I'm only active during that as a spring and the summer. I don't do any curve painting in the winter. It's just a nice, easy. If I want, say, me and my wife wants to take a trip in the family, that trip is going to cost me $300-400. I know at any given day I can go out on 2 days on a weekend, work 6 hours that day, and I know I can make $300, in those 2 days. And it's cash money, right? No tax, cash money, right? You just off the books, go get it done, and boom, we can take our trip. That's what I like about that. So those really, I don't have any major goals. Like, I'm not trying to open a business this year. I'm not trying to do anything brick and mortar. Like, those are off the books right now, though. But the consistency at eBay and doing the coaching thing is the two biggest goals this year.
Okay, cool. Now let's get into your resale game, because I know you said something about you want to get to 100,000. Is that gross or net? Because people are going to ask.
Yeah, gross.
Okay, and so I know that. So you guys, I don't want to put Derek on the spot, but I watch his videos or have in the past, and he gets a lot of his merchandise from auctions. So can you talk a little bit about maybe 2 or 3 places where you source to get inventory? Because I get the question a lot, either from Instagram or emails, or people leave me comments in the comment section, and then they say, hey man, I want to get started in resale on eBay, but I don't know where to find items that are profitable that I can resell to make money on. So can you kind of give them the back door behind the curtain access to to where they can go get merchandise for cheap to resell and make money?
Yeah, I'm a huge I just say, look Look online, type in local auctions, right? Everyone talks about high bid. There's plenty of other auction houses around you that's not on high bid. Some of them don't want to pay those fees that go on high bid. So there's plenty of local auctions that may just run it on their own site. I have 3 or 4 here that's not on high bid, that's local in the area that I go to, and I've been going there, consistently. I also do a lot of online arbitrage, Vans, J.C. Penney, Sears. I don't do much Walmart. I don't do much Target. There's just so many stores. Imagine a store that you like going to. Let's say it's Black and White. That store Black and White. They have an online store. Go in there, look at their clearance. You never know what the hell's gonna go on clearance. You can go in there and load up without anyone else knowing. There are just so many different avenues that you can go to get great inventory. Everyone says Facebook Marketplace is flooded. It's not. There's plenty of deals out there on Facebook Marketplace, and the great thing about it is a lot of people ship. So go in there, shoot people offers. Hey, look, I see you had this posted for 8 months. I see you ship. How about I give you $50, and you get it shipped out to me? That's just I made so many deals just doing that, looking at old postings around the area. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. People need to stop saying there's not enough inventory and the reseller market is flooded. No, it's not. You just don't want to go out there and get it.
Right. Well, there's plenty of merchandise out there. My thing that I like doing the most is getting these big bulk deals where I can get 500 or 1,000 items at one time. Because sometimes you go to a thrift store and you may come home and say maybe you grabbed 5 items and maybe you're going to make $50 or even $100 profit. So I'm like, okay, great. Gas is $3.50 a gallon. The $50 is going to fill your gas tank up. Now what? You know what I mean? You made $50 profit. So you have to have enough inventory, enough capital to kind of hold you over. So that's what I really like doing. Like Derek said, if you go look at high bid, also you can check out Craigslist. You can look at OfferUp. They have a little app, and you can look up things locally in your area. And like he said, different auction sites. And if you like doing retail arbitrage, like my man Richie Hustles, he does really well reselling on Amazon. So he had a question. First, I wanted to give a shout out to Patricia Washington. She came by, said she's here to support the fam. So thanks for coming by. And Richie Hustle says, what is your end game with reselling? Is this a bridge to something else? Or what is your plans or your end game with reselling, Derek?
That's a good question, man. It's okay to say I don't know, and I don't know. I right now I'm happy and know that reselling won't be going anywhere, and there's always going to be avenues for that. But I don't really know what I want in the end right now. I know that I want to not be working for anyone in the long run, unless I can get a major coaching job at a college or something like that, and I get paid like I want to get paid. I wouldn't mind working under that umbrella because I'm doing something that I love coaching. I love track and field more than I love reselling. So if anything pops up to where I can get and be making, 150,000 a year net coaching track and field, then I'm there. Reselling will become a side hustle again. And that's
right. The tide will come back.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the only way. Besides that, I just want to keep on my entrepreneurial thing and just keep grinding at it, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying it. Just like Jeff said, I love being able to wake up, and if I'm sick or not feeling good, not having to call my boss and be like, hey, I'm not feeling, and then making you feel guilty about it.
Right. Then they don't even believe it. You're sick. Oh, Jeff called in fake sick. I'm like, what? Like, if I can't come in, I can't come in. Like, forget it. So Derek, man, what would be your top 3 tips or piece of advice to help somebody out, man? If somebody wants to grow and scale their resale business, let's say they want to get to 100 grand gross, or maybe they just want to make enough money to support themselves and their family. What would be your top 3 tips or piece of advice to help somebody out with growing or scaling their eBay business? Because I know you sell on Amazon too, but eBay is like your main hustle, right? Huh?
No, Amazon's fired. I don't mess
You
with
through with Amazon now?
yeah,
Man,
yeah,
okay.
I'm doing Amazon. That's a quick trial run with Amazon, and I didn't like the way that was operating. So
All
I
right.
yeah. Uh, quick tips. Don't have I would say even for the people that's been doing it, don't have too many main categories. You should only have a handful of main categories that you sell in, and then dabble in other things that you can find deals in. You can't go hard in the paint on in 10 to 12 different categories. It's just not going to happen. You don't have enough time in the day to do that. Find the categories that you enjoy, because everyone, I give you a scene here. Everyone can look wherever they have their storage at and see all the stuff that they pick up. Right? They have a nice bundle of stuff they have sitting there, and they always are going to grab the things A that they like, or B that are easy to list. All that other stuff, you're going to get to it when you get to it, but you're going to always grab the stuff that you like, and you're going to always grab the easy items to get posted. So save yourself a bunch of time, get heavy on the stuff that you like, and then you can get heavy on the stuff that's easy to post that can make you money. And then you can
Yeah.
dabble into other stuff that you maybe will post later, because the last thing you want to do is have your inventory sitting there of stuff that you don't want to post. Although you look at it and it's tons of money, you just don't want to post it because you don't like it.
Right?
It's legit that serious. I will walk in a store and I will see something, a pair of clothing sitting on a rack right now, and I know it can make me $300. Me being me, I won't pick it up because I hate clothes. In
Yeah.
my head, I know that's going to make me money, and it's crazy how that works. But I will walk right past it because I hate clothing. I hate it. So, that's one tip. Second, uh, if you're coming into it, or even if you're into it right now, have a system in place that works for you. You have to be persistent and consistent in whatever you do. You have to, especially in reselling. If you don't have a system in place, you're going to fail. You're never going to get to the point where you want to get. You're going to always be at that tipping point to where, oh, I like what I'm doing and I don't like what I'm doing, because you don't have a system in place that works for you. And number three, keep track of your numbers. You don't have to do a fancy spread. I don't have no fancy spreadsheet. You yourself know in your head how much you pay. I bought some 5 years ago and I know how much I paid for it. Right? You
Yeah.
know how much you pay for it, but keep track of it though. That's all I'm saying. Keep track of it. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I was just wanted to give a shout out real quick to the flipping sports guy, came by to hang out with us. He said, "Look at this power duo." I told Derek that we need to have a show like once a week or once every 2 weeks, just me and him going back and forth. But I told him that it would just be us just butting the heads every 5 minutes, saying, "Shut up, Jeff, shut up." So, and I wanted to give a shout out here to the Real Ross Boss, man. I was
What
just
is up?
talking about you. If you guys haven't got a chance to check out the Real Ross Boss, he's out there picking up clearance at Ross. Brand new shoes with tags for 50 cents. So I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Cali Reseller Louise, Richie Hustles, and Jim's Metaverse says, important question, when is your Pokemon whatnot auction going to be?
It's on Thursday, Jen. I pulled all the lots. Excuse me. I pulled all the lots together, and I just have to post the items, and I would do that probably later on tonight. So hopefully there's something in there for you.
All right. Now, Derek, I got to put you on the spot real quick. I want to talk about your accountability board because I have something where I have like a little calendar on my phone where I try to keep track of stuff that I get list on eBay. But you actually have like an actual accountability board where you track how many listings you do on eBay,
Yeah.
your gross sales, your net profit, all of that. So do you mind getting into that for a minute and talk about how your accountability board works? Because it may help somebody else that's watching right now.
Yeah, everyone likes to say they're a creator, or they invented the accountability board or whatever they want to call it. Everyone always says that. I think everyone has some form of accountability board, paper, or whatever. This board for me in particular, just it's a board, it's a chalkboard that I have right here on the wall, and I document it's real simple. I have my new items. So my first line is new. That's however many new items I posted for today. I have my gross, my net sales, however many items I sold that day. I have a Macari category on there because I sold a Macari, and I have a whatnot category on there to track my whatnot sales, how much I sold in my whatnot auctions. And then at the end of each week, I total it and I put it, and I'm old school. I put it on a calendar right here. Right here are my totals. I write down each week on how much I made. And I do it every single end of the week. I total it and I put it on that. And so at the end of the year, I easily have something to look at. And then also the big, oh my God, if you go out sourcing, and I'm
Go
really
ahead.
bad at this and I got better at this, I'm doing better this year.
Go ahead. I'll put you on full screen.
This little cheap little accordion file. When you get your butt home with those receipts, go on and drop it in this accordion file under the month that it goes in, because you know when tax season come around, you're going to spend 1 week of stressing yourself out, printing out all your receipts. We all do it. Get you one of these, drop your receipts in the month. That way, when you're stressing out for that week, it's real easy. You just pull it out by each month, do it, and boom, you're done and over with. So little
All
things
right.
like that, just to make your life a little easier as a reseller.
All right. Now, Derek, one thing I want to talk about real quick is we were talking earlier kind of how you go about balancing things. So how do you go about doing this? Because Derek's not like, a bachelor. You're married, you have a wife, you have kids, you have a family. So how do you go about, running your resale business, shooting YouTube videos, and still spending time with your family and doing your other side hustles and adventures that you have? How do you go about doing that to keep everything balanced? Because you got to be there to spend time with your kids. You got to be there to kind of have time with you and your wife. I'm sure you guys have like date night once a week or something. So talk a little bit about how you balance your life being a solopreneur.
Prioritizing. You got a list of things that's important to you, starting with the number one, and then you go all the way down, right? Most of your time is going to be spent in that top four. Everything else is secondary. To me, it's just that simple. Happy family, happy life, right? A lot of people say happy wife, happy life. No, it's happy family, because a lot of us have kids. So happy family, happy life. So number one, you got to keep your family happy. Number two, you got to pay your bills, right? So most of your time going to be grinding on whatever your job is, whatever your hustle is. And number three is all your little secondary things that you like to do. And that third is
Yeah.
last. You know what I'm saying? That third is last. So the moment you realize that, hey, I'm not making money from YouTube. If you're not making money from YouTube, if you are and you make enough that's priority for you, guess what? That's a job that moves up now. I don't make that much from YouTube. That thing is down here on the bottom, right? So that's my low priority. But you have to have something that you're able to get out your zone with and that you enjoy. And that's the show that we do on Wednesday. I love doing that show. So it's an outlet for me to help me relieve some of the day-to-day stresses that you come across. So that is a priority for me. That's why I do that show religiously every Wednesday, because I love and enjoy doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Derek is kind of a night owl like me, so I like to be able to get into my zone. It might be midnight, 1 o'clock. Everybody else will be sleeping, and I'll be in my zone and could start, have my music on, and I'll be able to crank out some listings on eBay. So I'm kind of a night owl. So that way he can kind of do that too, and he has the whole day free to pick his kids up from school, have dinner with them, do his running around as far as shopping and getting your eBay merchandise together, shipping packages out, and then you can kind of get in your zone at nighttime. My thing is, Derek, because I feel like it's always kind of a battle. It's like, hey, okay, you're making money and that's good, but now what about your health? Now you have to find time to try to eat healthy and go to the gym. And so that's the area that I've been struggling with, is trying to make that a priority. Like you were saying, it's kind of like, okay, great, now you're making, XYZ number of dollars, you hit that goal, but now this part over here of your life is slipping. So now you got to kind of focus on that. So It's hard for me, man. It's just even little things like switching from drinking soda to drinking water when you know what's healthy for you, but you just don't always do it, So I wanted to give a quick shout out here to the ATL Flippers, and Steve is here. Resale Dojo is here. So Derek, tell everybody about your show that you do on Wednesday nights. I have all your links listed down below so they can follow you on YouTube and Instagram, but go ahead and tell them about your YouTube show that you guys do on Wednesday nights with Regina.
So number one, I want to say, and I want to say that I think Steve knows this. If people don't know this, Steve, hands down, is probably one of my favorite people. I feel like me and Steve are brothers, but we were born in two different areas. You want to know why? Steve legit gets it, and there's no better way to explain it. Steve gets it. He gets it. My man, he dives in and he gets out of the water. That's what he does, and he goes about his business. Uh, you ask a lot of people, Resale Dojo, they're like, who is that? But yet, here the guy is with 4,000, however many followers he has. He's just consistent with what he does, and you never just hear anything bad about the guy. And he's just one of those people. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. He's a ninja. That's right. So the show we do is called Humpday Hangout. It's on Wednesday nights. And myself and Regina Michelle, it alternates on channels. And Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are approaching 100 episodes here coming up shortly. I know on the 100 episode show, we're going to do something big and have a bunch of people on the show rotating it around. But it's a great show. It started off as a reselling show where we talked about reselling. That ended in about 2 episodes because I was bored to death. So we started bringing resellers on, but we don't talk about reselling. We'll talk about it for 1 second, and then we'll talk about legit anything. To get a perfect example of that, you probably want to check out the last show where we went from talking about reselling to chicken nuggets to strippers. I don't know. We were talking about so much different stuff.
I was at the show. I wasn't on the show, but I was in the chat watching. So yeah, I know.
Just off the wall. So that's a great thing we do. As I said, I retired from making regular videos. I'll pop them in randomly here and there, but it's not nothing you can set your clock to. It's going to be one of those things where I make it when I make it. I'm more active on Instagram. Very active on Instagram. I think it's an easy platform where I can get in and out. And and that's it.
Yep. Well, shout out to you, Regina. And if you guys get a chance, I got all their links listed down below. If you go ahead and follow Derek right here on his YouTube channel, Fundamentals of Hustling. So Derek, man, so you've been doing this resale game for a while. This is going to be your full-time gig. You're trying to spend time with your family. How are things different for you as far as being like self-employed versus working in the corporate world? Like what are some things that the good and the bad that you really enjoy about it?
The good, obviously, is being able to set your own schedule, being able to know that whatever you put into your job, you're going to get out of it. The bad, and there's always a bad that comes with it. The bad is you have time, too much time sometimes, and you will find yourself doing a lot of things that you shouldn't be. That's not necessarily conducive to the productivity of your business. And you have no one to blame but yourself. So being disciplined is one of the hardest parts to figure out when you become, if you're a full-time reseller, because you have nothing but time. And most of us work off our phones, and everything bad is on your phone at the same time. You can easily switch over screens and go on Instagram or whatnot or YouTube, right? So it's just having discipline and knowing. That's where this board comes into play. I can always look at this board and I'm like, yo, I only did one listing in like 4 hours. What are you doing, bro? And then I hone in and get my stuff done. And the numbers are right in front of you. It'll prove to yourself that whatever work you're doing is paying off. So that's.
All right, now Derek, I got to put you on the hot seat, bro. So tell me, what are your top 3 favorite reselling YouTube channels that you like to watch when you have free time, and what are your top 3 favorite YouTube channels that are not reselling that you like to watch? It could be just something off the wall that you have some downtime that you like to watch when you have free time.
Well, I already said Steve, Resale Dojo. I don't watch too much reselling anymore. Just keeping it 100. People I follow, and I'm not trying to get out this question. It's just people I follow and I support. They know that, so I will always watch their videos. When it pops up, whenever they post a new video, I'll watch it. But I'm not actively out there looking at reselling videos. I'm not. And I've been out that mindset for about 2-3 months now. So I don't have favorite resellers. I have my people who I support, and they truly know that. I will go out and watch their videos, and I like them all equally because I get something out of each and every one of them. So I don't have a top three. I don't. As far as not non-reselling, yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I watch tons of track and field videos. It's track season right now, and so always on top of the track and field. I have it's a vlogger. It's a vlogger that I watch, and I cannot think of her channel. Uh, but she's just quirky. Her and her boyfriend. She's just really quirky, and I like it. She lives in like New England. It's the most random shit. You would never think I will watch that, but it's one of those things that I watch and I enjoy. And then I watch tons of cooking videos. No favorite, but I watch tons of cooking videos.
Yeah. One of the channels that I've been watching a lot lately is the History Channel. And I know you guys, it's not like reselling related, but they have these like documentaries from like World War II history. And could
Mm.
you imagine you're on one of these ships and all of a sudden some Japanese kamikaze comes flying at you on your ship trying to blow a hole in the side of you and your battleship? Like,
Wow.
that'd be crazy. Like, you're sitting there drinking your Monday morning coffee and all of a sudden this kamikaze comes flying in trying to blow your battleship up. So both of my grandfathers fought during World War II. And for some reason, every time I watch like Patton or, one of these World War II documentaries, I'm into it. I'm like, I got the speakers on. I at least want to tune in and see, because it's
Yeah.
crazy. It was like 100 years ago, but you don't understand. Like, if anything could have shifted left or right with World War II, if we lost that, we all might be speaking German right now. You never
Yeah.
know. So
It's insane.
stuff like that really interests me, man. So Derek, man, tell me, we're still early in the year of 2022. What are
Yeah.
some things you have coming down the pike, coming up in the next 2, 3, 6 months that you're working on? Some other type of little side project or something that you got going on, because I never know what you're gonna say. Sometimes you might say it might be a bouncy house. Like, I didn't even think that Derek could be out there spraying the side of people's curbs. So I don't ever
Yeah.
know what you're getting into, bro.
That's a creative piece that came out of me. I was huge into art when coming up in school, and I love. There was one thing about me. Once I get my big mansion, I'm huge into art. My art's probably going to be worth more than my house because I just love abstract art. So it painting curves actually gives me although it's simple. It gives me the opportunity to drive around the city or whatever neighborhoods I live in and see something like, yeah, we did that or I did that. Although it's simple, I know it's going to be there for quite a few years. So something I'm working on that I think I've kind of threw it out there and I haven't really promoted or said it I was going to do is I'm starting this channel. It's called What Happened, and it's on YouTube. I'm not going to promote it on my show or anything like that. It's going to be something that naturally grows, but it's about homelessness. It's where I go out and interview some of the homeless around the area and let them tell a story about how they got to where they're at and kind of what they see in their future. So that's something I'm really passionate about, and that should be starting up here within a few weeks. Probably one of the easiest videos to shoot. All you gotta do is cut a few pieces out. You ain't gotta do no major edits. Then boom, you throw it up there and let it be what it is. So it's just letting them talk about how they got in the situation that they're in, and I think it's important. I think there's so many times where we've seen homeless people or houseless, whatever they want to be called, and you look at them like, damn, I wonder what happened, right? And that's where the title came from for the channel, What Happened. Uh,
Yeah.
because that's what you always ask. Damn, like what? I wonder what happened. They're so young, or oh, they're a veteran. We see them with an
Yeah.
army jacket on. You just wonder what happened. So this is gonna give them an opportunity to kind of talk about what happened. And there's nothing behind it. I'm not promising them anything. All I'm promising them is to be able to let them tell a story, and that's it.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that sometimes I'll be having a bad day and lose my car keys or get a flat tire or something, and then I'll be riding by and I'll see other people, just sleeping under an overpass somewhere, and it's like, man, I might have had a little bit of a bad day, but I mean, when you compare your bad day to where this person's daily life is, there's a lot of people that's out there really struggling, and sometimes whether you realize it or not, you really are blessed. You're blessed and favored. I mean, if you have, a hot meal, you have a nice bed to sleep in, you have your friends and family members that love you and care about you. you're not out in these streets struggling, like you really are blessed and you don't know it, man. So,
Right.
so Derek, I told Derek we were really going to try to keep Derek on around maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and we're right up on 45 minutes. So there's real quick, Derek. I want to talk about this accountability thing, because I think when people first get started, you know, whether it's YouTube or whether they're reselling on eBay and they start making sales, they're in this like honeymoon phase, and then that wears off, and then they kind of get bummed out. I'm kind of bummed out dealing with eBay. I had a $60 item that I shipped, and I gave the tracking number, and someone opened up a case against me, said they didn't receive their item. So eBay took the $60 out of my account. Plus, I had to pay a $20 fee for disputing it. I'm like, bro, I gave you the tracking number. So me and eBay, I'm kind of mad at eBay at the moment, but I'm glad that I have that extra stream of income coming in every month, because that's enough to pay my cell phone bill, pay the rent every month. So I'm glad to have it. But what would you say is something that really works for you to keeps you kind of held accountable, or that kind of pushes you and motivates you when you don't feel like doing it?
Think about being homeless. To me, it's just that simple. Either you're going to do it or you're going to be homeless, especially if you're doing it full time. See, when you decide to go full time, you have no crutch anymore. It's not consistent. You don't have a consistent paycheck coming in. You know, when you working at 9 to 5 or 9 to 12, whatever, however long you're working, you know you're going to have X amount of money coming in every single week. You know that. If that being taken away is not strong enough or to push you, then you don't need to do it. You really don't. Not having a crutch is real. It's real and scary at the same time. That's why a lot of people don't do it, because they don't bet on themselves. You're for sure betting on yourself when you decide to go full time reselling, because you know what you gotta do to get out there and get this product. It's not just going to show up at your door. You know the work that goes behind. Even if you're not going out into thrift stores, I'm constantly on the computer looking at auctions, looking up things on the auctions, writing stuff down. Like, I legit have a notebook where I go through each week and write a bunch of stuff down on things that I want to bid on. It's legit. You're working 2 times harder than what you would working a 9 to 5 as far as hours wise, but the return in the end is so much better. It is so much better. You don't even think about the time you're putting into it. So just know, if you decide to do it, that crutch is gone. You have no choice at that point, unless you want to fail. And let me say this, Jeff.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. If you decide to do something, regardless on if it's reselling or whatever, and it's something you've been wanting to do, and I wouldn't call it a fail, and it doesn't work out for you, it's okay. It's okay. That's not a failure. What it is you should actually applaud yourself that you even attempted to do it, unless you look back on what you did and you know you didn't give it your 100% and you wasted your time. Then you should look at it as a failure on yourself, not your situation. But if you give it your 100 and it doesn't come back how you expected it to, that's okay, man. Give yourself an applaud. Get back on the horse, ride off and do something else. But just know you check that box off. You don't never have to sit right there and say, man, I wish. That wish is gone now. You already did it. Keep it moving. All right. Don't be hard on yourself that you have to pivot and go do something else, or pivot. If it's something you really want to do, pivot, go do something else, and then come back to it. All right. Don't forget about it. All right. Just know it's not always going to work out how you want it to work out. You may have to pivot, turn left, turn right, but make sure you keep coming back to it.
Yeah, I would say for probably 95% of the people, when they message me and they say they want to quit their full-time job, be a full-time reseller, I'll be like, hey, bro, there's nothing wrong with having a guaranteed paycheck coming in and doing reselling on the side. I see a lot of people that go out and hit yard sales on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they go out and still make $1,000 a week and still have their regular 9 to 5 job on top of it. So, the thing is like when you're doing it kind of part-time, you don't really think and consider how much money at the end of the month you have to reinvest for the following month to buy more inventory, because you have that paycheck coming in. When you're doing it full time, let's say hypothetically Derek made 10 grand this month reselling. Well, you already know his cost of goods is going to be taken out of that. You already know you're going to have to pay your eBay fees. And then let's say you might have to take 2,500 of that or 3,000 of that and reinvest it for inventory for the following month coming up in March. So it's not as always cut and dry and as people think. So I'm always like, man, just, keep your job, get out of debt. If you can pay your car off or credit card or student loans, use that extra capital to get out of debt, start building up an emergency fund and go that route. And then, eBay is going to be there. It's not going nowhere. It's still going to be there. So hey, Derek, man, go ahead.
Before we go, and there's a lot of, everyone knows me as a realist, and I'm as real as it come, and I'm as straightforward as it come. I sent this to my cousin as well to show her, like, because she just started doing reselling, and I sent this to her. Let me see if I can pull it up here, just to show people who. Let me make sure my social security number ain't showing.
All right, go ahead. I got you on full screen.
Let me see. Just gross 112,393. That was from eBay last year. All right. That was from eBay last year. Doesn't count Macari, Facebook, or any other hand-to-hand platforms that you do. Stop capping. The people out there that are capping and saying they're making money, that's gross. All right. I actually took home probably about 70,000, a little over 70 from that. All right. So just to show you, a lot of people out there running their mouth. Show your numbers. That's all I'm saying. Show your numbers. Shut your mouth. Do your job. If you're not going to show your numbers to these people that look up to you and you're out there preaching and giving them all this false information and falsehoods and hopes and dreams saying you can be a millionaire doing this stuff, but you never show your numbers and never show how you're doing your numbers, shut the hell up. All right? Shut the hell up. Quit leading people down the empty path and tell them the truth.
Yeah. But see, this is why I like Derek is he doesn't hold back. He's just himself, and you could just take it or leave it, but he's just out here being himself 100%. So, hey, Derek, tell everybody where they can follow you at on YouTube and Instagram. I have all your links listed down below in the description, but let them know where they can go by and follow you at.
Yep, Fundamentals of Hustling on Instagram, Fundamentals of Hustling on YouTube. And if you're on Whatnot, if you're not into Whatnot, now into that live auction platform, it's called Whatnot. My name is Fundamentals on there as well. Come give me a follow, man. Any resellers that want to get into, if you have a lot of product that you want to move, particular categories, and check out Whatnot. Put in your application. They're taking applications. It's a long wait list, but it's a great way to push off inventory very fast.
Okay, cool. I just want to give a quick shout out to a few people in the chat. Kelly Reseller Louise, BK from the Rockies, Javela Flips Annie is here, LKL Graphics Keith, Joey Tyler is here. Says congratulations, great year for you. Katie Reed is here with the fire emojis. So thank you guys for being here, and I want to thank our guest Derek for taking time out of his day to come by and hang out with me. I appreciate you, Derek. And maybe sometime you can invite me. I'll come on your show sometime. But hey, man,
have we not had you on our show, Jeff?
No, not yet, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to know what's funny is the last few guests we had. They're like, "Yo, I was waiting for you to have me on the show." I'm like, "Yo, we haven't had you on there." I'm like, "We almost had shows, man. I lose track." But we on live right now, man. We on live right now. I got to get my antiquated calendar out.
Hey, you can just send me a message on Instagram, bro. We'll set it up. I don't want to be rude and try to invite myself on other people's channels. No. I don't think that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. But ATL Flipper says, "Hey, Derek, can you let me hold $1?" And I want to give a shout out to Energy for Self. So hey, Derek, that's cool, man. Just give our people in the audience, give them some words of wisdom, some final thoughts, and then we'll let you go, bro. I appreciate you jumping on and hanging out with us.
Words of wisdom from me is, if you do anything, and I think I've said it already, if you do anything, do it 100%. Don't go 50 on nothing. Don't go 80% on nothing. Go 100 at all times, and be able to take a step back and look yourself in the mirror and know that you put that 100% in. All right. Stop blaming other people. The only person to blame for your failures is yourself. And no matter what you do, your job, your side hustles, your main hustle, it's always you. It always starts with you. So look at yourself first before you go blaming other people. And that's all I got.
Yeah, guys, my final thought is just pay attention to your health. Like last month in January, just driving around working as a courier. I made like 10 grand. But then at the end of the month, it was like January 26th, 27th, I came down and got sick, and I was in bed sick for like 2 weeks. So, you know, your health is very important. You could have $1 million in the bank, but it ain't worth nothing if you're too sick to get out of bed to enjoy it. So try to enjoy spending time with your family while you can. You know, your kids are going to grow up fast, and you're going to, before you know it, you'll be 30, then you'll be 40, then you'll be 50, and then you'll be 60 years old and ready to retire. So try to spend time with your loved ones and try to take care of your health. And that's all I have for you guys. And go ahead and follow our guest, Derek here, Fundamentals of Hustling. I have all those links listed down below. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. I have a brand new guest that's going to be on. You guys know him. Vincent is going to be on I for Profit. He just recently hit 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to pick his brain and ask him a bunch of reselling questions. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me today. And I want to give a big shout out to my guest, Derek, for jumping on with me. Till next time, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Peace.